10 questions about reading tea. International, Singapore, English version. 1. What is body reading tea? In a quiet and comfortable environment, tea friends stop talking and sit in the most comfortable position, either cross-legged or meditative pose, and minimize movement. First, let the heart calm down, and then relax the body. Drink the tea while it is hot, ignoring the color of the tea and fragrance in the mouth. Quietly discern the tea chi in the body. After the tea enters the mouth, the body begins to heat up. Pay close attention to where the heat starts, where the heat spreads, whether it is from the spine or skin surface, whether it is the front or the back of the body, how long it takes to radiate to the legs and feet, or it does not reach those, and the reaction of other parts of the body, whether there is soreness, numbness, and pain. Feeling the tea chi with heart is also a process of observing one's own body. 2. Why use the body to read tea? In the era when taste can be artificially created, it is impossible to distinguish the quality of tea itself by color, taste, and fragrance. Hence, you need to read the tea with your body to determine if it is a good tea by feeling movement of the tea chi in the body. Body reading tea also allows us to meditate, cultivate our minds, and contemplate, to be aware of ourselves. The ultimate goal is to achieve harmony, find one's true self, and maintain a healthy body. 3. What is the original intention of Mr. Li Yanfeng to donate pure, aged unfermented tea? He uses tea to maintain health and meditate. He was deeply saddened by the chaos in the tea world. He traveled around for more than 10 years to advocate the method of reading tea, so as to guide mankind to use tea for health, and establish the right knowledge and mindfulness of drinking tea correctly. 4. What is the difference between unfermented, raw, tea and fermented, cooked, processed, tea? Raw tea is fresh tea leaves that are picked and stored in a natural way, not artificially processed, but naturally fermented aged pu'er tea. Freshly made raw tea or raw tea that has been aged for a short period of time has a strong bitter, astringent taste and light color when brewed. With prolonged aging, the bitter and astringent taste of raw tea gradually mellows and turns into sweetness and fragrance. In the early 1970s, in order to imitate the taste of aged raw tea, cooked tea was artificially fermented to remove the astringency, making the tea taste smooth and delicious, but at the cost of eliminating the essence of tea. 5. Will I be unable to sleep at night after drinking aged raw tea? Due to the highly active ingredients of young tea, the dampness has not subsided, and it is easy to cause insomnia after drinking. There are also some roasted teas that are too heaty, and if not discharged quickly after drinking, will also affect sleep. Aged raw tea will mellow with years and the dampness will fade away, is warming and nourishing. It can calm the mind and help sleep. Of course, there are people with physical problems, where the tea chi will not dissipate after drinking and have affected sleep, but their alertness will not be affected. 6. Can I drink aged raw tea during pregnancy? Young tea is too damp and not suitable for drinking. Aged raw tea is pure, yang, which has the effect of promoting qi, circulating blood and calming the mind. It can also be consumed during pregnancy. The fetus will absorb the energy of the aged tea, so that the baby will be full of yang, qi after birth, and have increases immunity. 7. What is the difference between a dry warehouse and a wet warehouse? How to distinguish brewed tea from a dry warehouse or a wet warehouse? The feeling and flavor of the young pu'er tea are basically confined to the mouth, and the sweetness lasts for a long time and can promote saliva. But aged pu'er tea is different. After drinking a good aged tea, the sweetness and roundness will not only linger in the mouth, but also in the throat area, and we call it throat rime. Tea must be kept in a storage environment. Tea leaves that are damp and mildewed will cause discomfort to the throat and not have throat rime. Aged tea stored for a longer time in a dry warehouse environment will have a more pronounced throat rime. Dry storage refers to storage in a clean and dry storage environment, and the tea leaves are naturally transformed without human factors. Wet warehouse refers to humid storage, or artificial humidification so that the tea can be quickly transformed. 8. Why does pure dry warehouse aged raw tea have the effect of promoting fitness and health? Pure tea has a magical regeneration function, and its absorption capacity is particularly strong. In the environment of pure dry storage, the tea will absorb the aura of heaven and earth, the essence of the sun and the moon with the aging of climate and time, and the dampness and heatiness of the tea will dissipate. This will transform into energy, or pure, yang qi, which is the so-called tea qi. The tea qi of dry warehouse aged raw tea must be extracted by brewing tea at a high temperature. When drinking the tea hot, the tea qi will penetrate every part of the body and helps you replenish water, expel toxins from the body, cleanse the body, mobilize qi and blood, remove blood stasis, and clear the meridians. 9. How should raw tea be stored? Raw tea should be stored in a dry, airtight space without other smells and minimal movement and ventilation. Ventilation will remove the aroma of tea leaves. The storage space can face direct sunlight, but not the tea leaves. If located in rainy weather or cities with relatively high humidity, it is recommended to use a dehumidifier for long-term storage. 10. There are so many tea leaves on the market. How should you identify and find a good tea that suits you? Nowadays, the tea industry is in chaos, with dazzling packaging and business marketing models. Finding a good tea in such a market depends on using the body to read tea. First of all, it is necessary to understand how good tea feels on the body. The older the tea tree, the more warm inside of the body. Tea qi from the younger trees has a superficial effect on the surface. The older the tea tree, the deeper the roots and the more minerals in the ground are absorbed. Thus the tea qi in the body is a manifestation of the nutrients from the ground. Terrace tea has a very weak qi. When the surface nutrients are not enough, the tea is nourished by fertilizers and can only maintain the shape of the leaves. Such tea will not have rhyme. When tea can make the body feel comfortable, its taste will be good, and its fragrance will linger in the mouth and originate from the throat. The astringent taste from a good tea will quickly dissipate, and the sweetness seeps from the gap between the teeth and the base of the tongue, like a spring gushing out, which is the taste of nature. To look for tea, you have to drink good tea. Your body and mouth will have the impression, and you will have understanding. Of course, if you want to find good tea, you must first understand the properties of tea, make a good cup of tea, and drink really good tea.